Hello Exiles, this is BEG with another POE 2 video. I actually just wanted to show a map here. I've got a pretty juicy one set up. So here is a 131% quantity map with a chance for rare monsters to have additional modifiers, and I just corrupted this map which ended up getting 142 rarity, and it also is 66% delirious with 75% chance for monsters to have an additional modifier and rare monsters have an additional modifier. So the results here should be that we end up getting an average of 11, I believe, modifiers per rare monster, which will increase the multiplier. I also have a base rarity of 170 on this character, and then I'll have a very high rarity on the map, probably close to 300 when all is said and done, and the quantity should as a baseline be close to 200 as well, with all the modifiers. So I thought this would be a fun one, and if we get lucky and get multiple breach procs, should be a pretty interesting outcome. Now, Fortress is a somewhat open map for breaches as well, so there's that convenience, potential for big open breaches, lots of different currency drops here. So let's go ahead and fire this up and take a look. Okay, so this is what it ends up being, and I did get the double proc on my tablet as well. So 370% increased quantity, 281% rarity, lots of magic pack size, decent amount of rare monsters, and we are looking at 175%. So the average is actually going to be about 12 modifiers, and of course we have the additional actually only 3 additional modifiers from that. So, and I say only, but yeah, let's start killing some rares and seeing what the drops look like. We're already getting a lot of exalts, at least. I'll just pick up, I'll take tiered rares. Actually, I'll probably only pick up tier 4 and 5 gear. With as much rarity as I have, I should actually get a decent amount. I have the top the top tier bases, so you can see I actually have a lot of tiered gear dropping just from the rares, even rather than just from the bosses. I'm gonna do the boss last. I don't think I would die to the boss, but if this is one of the like 2 or 3 bosses out of all maps that I would kind of be concerned, I think there's pretty much a 0% chance, but I don't want to risk the loot here. There's the first divine already. Alright. And I do expect to get potentially multiple divines here. Really bad place for the breach. I'm going to clear out the area around it real quick to see kind of where I want to navigate during this. 3 chaos from 1 monster. It's pretty good. I'm going to take rings and amulets still, even if they're not tiered. Alright, and kind of get around here. Okay, so it looks like we'll at least have a lot of open space in this circle to kind of navigate around. Shouldn't be too bad. Unfortunately, a portion of it is kind of blocked off, so maybe not as juicy as if it was in a more central area, but I think this will still be just fine. So I'm going to kind of curve around the bottom and then use all those little corner areas to go around. 12 breach splinters in my hand. There we've got chance orb. I'll just pick that up right away in case something goes wrong. There's not actually anything dangerous on this map, so I don't know why I'm being so cautious. It's all positive. Okay. As you can see, the lag gets quite intense. So yeah, we're gonna circle around and then circle back. The drops are pretty intense. Now, if this had happened on a swamp map instead, we'd be sitting even better. So now I circle back around this way. I don't think it's going to open up enough to go around. Kind of being a little slow about this. There you go. It's a little hard to navigate with the lag and everything. See if we can get up out a little bit farther here. Eke out some more rares. Okay. So, just gonna go back and loot all that. Pretty solid outcome, I think. No divine from that. But yeah, you can see all the loot on the mini-map here. Pretty intense amount. Lots of breach splinters, of course, as you would expect. Even this is enough quantity at this point, with 370%, that even the regular class pans were giving 6 splinters. And then the occasional 2 splinter. Oh, those are all simulacrum splinters, yeah. So, monsters always just drop 1 breach splinter. Gotta kind of press Z in order to replace everything. Plated belt, not super interested in that. Take a look at this. 7% delirious, not good enough. Take the ring. 16, not good enough. I like my very high delirium maps, 60% or higher if possible. Okay, so just done with that breach, already up to quite a few chaos and exalts. Got my divine. Hopefully this is a multiple divine map. I do get those fairly regularly, probably once or twice a day usually. Get a 2 or 3 divine map lately. I still haven't gotten more than 3 in a single map yet though. Hoping to eventually beat that record. Now we know it's definitely possible. There was a guy who got a 10 breach map or a 15 breach map on Reddit. Got like 16 divine in one map, similar amount of over 300 quantity. Although that character had, I think, 400 or 500 rarity, whereas I only have 175, so that might make a difference as well. Might not. I might already be at the kind of, oh, there's the second one. Second divine there. Got, yeah, you can see a decent amount. I'm also getting an additional mod on a lot of the magic monsters because of delirium. That's the only way to get additional mods on magic monsters to my knowledge at this point. So sometimes, and I think you get more the higher delirium it is. So basically, not only do you get the kind of drop boost delirium gives you, but your magic monsters end up becoming more likely to drop higher currencies. At like 100 delirium, I tend to get a decent amount of like divines and chaos exalts from magic monsters, like a decent portion of them. Some of them will, a lot of the packs will still only have 1 mod though. This one's just stun resistant. Alright, got this. And yeah, you can see good amount of mods here. 7. The drop's pretty high. Seems like that was mostly gold. The arch nemesis system makes it so certain, I don't know if it's certain mod combinations. You know what? I'm just going to go straight for the boss. Boss should drop quite a bit too. I actually do have a little bit of a boss quantity boost on top of everything. It's not super high or anything, but there you go. my mana is much worse than it used to be because I don't have a lot of mana on my rings because I wanted to prioritize rarity. But yeah, as you can see, lots of boss loot. Not a lot of good boss loot, but a lot of boss loot at least. Decent amount of tiered loot. Yeah, not bad. I'm not gonna dig through all that though. None of them are top tier bases. I'd probably still look at the quarterstaffs under normal circumstances. Alright. And yeah, the value of mostly trying to put in 20% or at least as close as you can, like 19, 20, 17 or higher, I think is what I generally want to go for. Percent quantity towers is definitely worthwhile. Normally I wouldn't kill the Strongbox, but I actually want to demonstrate something. Strongboxes seem to be affected by map quantity, and it seems to maybe also be and map rarity as well. And it also seems like it might be further, it might take on the rarity as well. So we can see this. Look at the amount that dropped from that. It's an insane amount. Now, my rarity is pretty high, so maybe it's not affected by the map rarity, but yeah, very, very good. I think maybe a high quantity Strongbox strategy where you get the mod that gives your Strongbox implicits 50% more, and you actually roll everything up to like a 6 mod Strongbox could be pretty good in very high quantity maps. But I'm not really sure. And then the idea would be that you're kind of going for these high, you get the high more multipliers on rarity and quantity from the Strongbox as well. Even better on the researchers, the currency one, or the jewelers Strongboxes. I think that would be a really cool little experiment to try. You can get a guaranteed Strongbox on boss tablets, and you could get a lot of them potentially there. So you would get the high quantity and then guaranteed Strongbox on a bunch of boss ones, and try to get 6 or 7 overlaps, and then pop in there. And with the right Atlas tree, I think that could be an interesting way to try to farm, and hope you get a lot of researchers Strongboxes for currency. I have gotten divines out of Strongboxes before, so definitely possible, and that's without doing anything to try to juice them. Maybe not often, like I think maybe 1 or 2, but it's happened. I only started, there's the next divine. Nice. Alright, so I'm up to 3. I've tied my record. Let's see if I can get more. There's not too much map left to do. Yeah, and this has already been a long map. Part of that is I'm kind of taking my time and explaining things. Even beyond the rares, I'm going to full clear this as well, because you get a bunch of extra rares from Delirium. So even when I kill the rares on the map that it's showing, there will be more rares more than likely. So sometimes there's a decent amount of extra rares, either outside, just naturally spawned by the Delirium, or inside the Fractured Mirrors. So I always check for that when I have a particularly juiced up map like this. And when you do juice a map this much, I think it's worth, you know, making sure you milk everything you can out of it, because your chances of getting divines are never really going to be higher. If I look on the actual floor, you can see that it's just, especially in areas, I'm sure if I went over by where I cleared the breach, it would be absolutely filled. Alright. Yeah, so that rare dropped all, well, probably most of this. I don't know how much exactly. Yeah, and there was another Delirium rare right there. But with that being said, I think I pretty much cleared everything. I'll just dip into every little bit of fog I left here. There's not much though, but 11 monsters left. Okay, you know what? Good enough. So final outcome for this was 3 divine, 15 chaos, 3 annul, 1 chance, and what are we looking at? 63 exalts, 4 GCP, 73 breach splinters, and 99 simulacrums. So I would say probably a little over 4 divines just from one map. Took about 15 minutes. It probably could have taken less if I wasn't, commentating and everything, but hope you enjoyed this little demo. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I'll see you next time. Bye.